I tried something very new and tried drawing a map on a glass pane, and it was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. The way the pen glides so easily over the glass is very satisfying, and I would recommend 100% drawing on glass. The glass I used was from a printer, but I'm sure you could use anything from a drinking glass to a plate. For my pen, I used a Sharpie paint pen, and if you want to use what I used, I'll put an Amazon affiliate link in the description. Now, for the story of Karn, the land of glass. From the hottest of fires, glass is blown, and in the carefulest of hands it is shaped. Only glass blowers skilled enough can create such intricate designs. Only ones large enough can create worlds. Before Karn was, all was flames. The great glassmith walked amongst the flames, pouches of glass at his waist, and a blowpipe in his hand. After an aeon, the glassmith began his work. He blew hard into his pipe, forming the glass around it into a sphere. Blues and greens he laid onto the sphere, bronzes and silvers, whites and blacks, mountains and valleys. When all was complete, the glassmith set the sphere high in the sky, and set to making the others. These others were all vastly different from the first, each one unique, and each hovering above the glassmith. Finally, the bags of glass were empty, and the glassmith admired his work. Yet he wasn't completely satisfied. Without his pipe, the glassmith blew on the first sphere, his magical breath spreading life onto the sphere. He watched as trees sprouted up around the entire sphere, growing to unimaginable heights in such little time. Animals popped up out of holes and pranced about the face of the sphere. Tiny fish and colossal fish alike swam up from the depths of the water and filled the oceans. With one final blow, the glassmith brought man up from the earth, elves out from the trees, and dwarves up from the stone, and the three races filled the world. Finally pleased, the glassmith sat back and watched the worlds rotate the great plane of fire. Yet all did not go well. First came whispers and lies, then small fights between the races. The climax was slow coming, with each race fighting against each other, and even within their own race. Evil scarred the face of Karn, and the glassmith was pained to watch his creation destroy itself. But watch patiently he did, as kings and emperors came and went, and nations rose and fell. Several millennia after the emergence of men, a single figure rose from the ashes of war. Karn came from the kingdom of Velroa, just off the Bay of Ral. Karn lived in a city in the north called Baxi, and was the son of a captain in the king's army. At a young age, Karn joined the army and experienced the evil for himself. Through his teenage years, Karn saw many battles and rose through the ranks under his father, and soon even outranked the captain. Karn was fierce, cunning, strategic, but also kind-hearted. He imagined a world united, living in peace and prosperity. The dream had been had by many leaders, but as Karn well knew, their greed for power had overtaken them. Karn would not let that happen to himself. Through his charisma and achievements, Karn's status grew in the royal court, and he was soon moved to the capital of Ifua, serving right under the leadership of General Arden, commander of the Elrowan army. 3 years after his promotion, Karn, with the help of General Arden, led 28,000 men on an attack on one of the neighboring kingdoms. During the campaign, Arden died, leaving the command to Karn, who successfully led the army to the surrendered capital, and back to Ifua to be given the title of general. Elated, Karn traveled back to the surrendered capital to complete the takeover. That winter soon became known as the Black Winter. Back at home in Ifua, unrest was stirring in the hearts of Karn's fellow generals. The king had levied a tax on all subjects of Elroa, including the generals, placing on them a higher tax. Fairness, he said, was the driving force behind his actions, and the generals had plenty to spare. Karn obediently sent his spoils of war back to his king, but the others refused. Uniting together, they launched an assassination on the king and his family. The wiping out of the royal family was systematic and completed a month after it had begun, the last being killed off just as the news arrived to Karn. Furious, Karn led his armies back. It was a rampage through Ifua, the streets painted with the blood of the king's enemies. Karn had the generals publicly beheaded, as well as their accomplices. With the throne empty, Karn took the seat. Many think Karn took the crown in a matter of days, but after weeks of looking for the right candidate, he gave up and took command. The dream of peace still sat patiently in the back of Karn's mind as he moved his armies across the world. Though he never achieved a world united with peace and prosperity, Karn died knowing he made an impact for the better. His own kingdom became a haven for many, prosperous in trade, giving the world a moment's rest. The great glassmith watched as all this happened, pleased with Karn's kingdom and his 30-year reign. Soon he would send another to take Karn's place.